I'm Tony. He's alive, and we return to you with another request from one of our viewers. After we did our review on Your Name, which was an anime that had been recommended to us, we had somebody else recommend Belle, and we're here to talk about that.
Yeah, this was recommended by Kiki. We don't give out real names. Actually, we did last time, but we don't give out full names. So anyways, this is by Kiki. So Belle's a 2021 anime written and directed by Homuro Hasoda. I hope I pronounced that semi-correctly. Who also did Wolf Children, Boy and the Beast. So anyway, so this is a interesting take on the Beauty and the Beast story.
Yeah.
I very much enjoyed this. And so this has like everything that Disney used to have in their animes and things like that. You know, when they had their big renaissance, like in the 90s, we had like their Beauty and the Beast, which was a huge one for them. Little Mermaid. Was it Pocahontas?
Yes.
Yeah, Pocahontas.
I think Pocahontas was kind of the end of the Disney renaissance on that one, because that one just felt so formula on that one.
But, you know, it had all these characters have a lot of heart. They don't have as much development as I wish they did.
Yeah.
Not all of them. Like a lot of the ancillary characters barely got touched on. Like even her Belle's best friend, I don't remember her name, didn't really get a lot of development in there. But Belle had a ton of development. The Beast has some good development and a cool revelation at the end of what was going on there. But so there's that. There's good characters in there. Good musical numbers, which I didn't think I was going to be too into at first. When it first started, like the first 5 minutes, like, oh, Kiki, I hope you didn't up. But it pulled through. And so I dig the musical numbers. Did you have something to say about the music?
Actually, I loved the musical numbers. I think were one of the strongest things about this. There was not a bad one in the bunch. And visually, they were kind of over the top. And when you see that very first one, there's Belle, and she's on top of a whale floating through the city, and the whole population of the virtual reality community is out there cheering. It's a little over the top. It's a little that is your introduction to this world. It's a little hard to swallow. I get that, but musically, the song is catchy as hell.
Yes.
So
yes, it is. And going back to like how big and like in scope and things that it is, like as far as like visuals, it's one of the movies that I wish I actually would have just came down here and just fired up my projector and watched it down here instead of on my TV, so I could really get the whole experience. Because watching on my TV, while it was cool, I know this belongs like on a big screen. Yeah. I think this would be like a good Garageburg movie. I
have an 85-inch screen, so that's not an issue for me. Everything is on the big screen. So, but I 60-40 this film. Okay. 60% of this movie I loved. 40% of it I just rolled my eyes at. And don't get me wrong, I did enjoy aspects of it, and overall I would definitely recommend this film. It is most definitely worth the watch. But it fell into the traps that a lot of movies like this fall into. And specifically, what I mean is, whenever you deal with internet fame, internet stardom, somebody that becomes big in the virtual space, it's kind of treated like, bullshit. And I'm saying that straight up, because here's this girl.
Bullshit in what means?
Well, I was actually going to get into that. Yeah, right. Give me a sec. So here's this girl, and she has given up playing music because she suffered a personal tragedy, and she rediscovers her voice and her singing by going online and doing it in a public space behind an assumed identity. And I love that aspect of it. But just like when they redid the Gem and the Holograms film, and all of a sudden she records this super sentimental song that's very personal and meaningful to her, and it just becomes this huge overnight sensation.
Sing one of your songs.
I don't like being on camera. At some point, we all wish that we could just become someone else.
I'm gonna play you a song I wrote.
She'll thank me later.
Something's happening that you really need to see.
What? Oh my God. Is that me?
As two guys that have been on the internet for over a year now, Okay, there's no such thing as overnight success. There's overnight recognition. You're probably grinding away at a while before someone goes, hey, these guys are actually pretty good. So even in this age of shit going viral, unless you've got footage of somebody getting their ass beat at a gas station, or shooting someplace up, no, I'm sorry, you're not going to get that instantaneous fame, number one. Number two, the assumption that everybody's musical taste is the same. I don't care how talented you are. I don't care what genre of music you do. And I love a lot of genres of music. I am by no means like, no, it's metal all the time, 24/7. But even if you are the best rapper, the best pop musician, the best vocalist, the best guitarist, there is always going to be a group of assholes that are going to come after you because they don't like your genre of music.
Well, I think that was represented in this movie.
It wasn't represented as strongly as it should be.
I think it was represented. It was as the amount because at one point half the people like turn on her.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of hate that goes directly to her. So I thought they nailed that part of that. Fine. For me it works. But go ahead.
So anyway, so the internet fame, and the other thing is that if you're putting something out there on the internet, you want people to see it. You're not going to run screaming from recognition for something that you did. I hate to break it to you, but that's kind of the whole point of putting shit on the internet is that, you're kind of saying, hey, I think I have something unique to say, and I'd actually like to share that with people. So you're not going to like, oh, I've got to log off, I've got to disappear, I've got to hide behind this, I've got to make sure no one finds out who I am.
You say that too, but there's a certain thing for anonymity.
Anonymity,
So I mean, not every star wants to be out there 24/7. So in a logical sense, it works because it's not her. It's not her true persona that's out there. It's a representation of her.
See, that's the 60% of this that I really kind of dug, was that it doesn't deal with, just because you follow someone on Instagram, and you may see every post that they do, you don't know that person.
Yes.
And people pretend like they do know these people, even going so far as to like reference them by their first names and have a conversation. Oh, did you see this post by blah, blah, blah? You don't know this person, and they don't know you. Your relationship with that person is distance at best. They handled that really well. The other thing that I really thought they handled amazingly well was how people try to use their online fame as collateral. And there was the one guy who decided that he was the white knight police force of the entire virtual world, and by damn it, he was going to get to the truth because people deserve the truth, and he is the final arbiter of online justice. I loved that aspect of it.
And that goes back to my reference earlier to classic Disney stuff. He was a classic representation of a Disney villain, like back then, where he's supposed to come off virtuous to like, the people are kind of under him or around him, but in reality he's not very virtuous. There's like the same with like the actual Beauty and the Beast villain. Most Disney movies, the good ones, have a villain like that.
A great villain always thinks they're the good guy.
Yes.
And that's exactly what this movie does really, really well. Now, the other thing that I did, and this is something that I just noticed, the visual style and animation changed. When it was real world stuff, it looks hand-drawn. It looks old school anime. And then when she's in the actual AI world, you can tell it's all computer generated. It's a much cleaner, much more dense, much more rich, I guess, visual style that's in it. And I loved that aspect of it. But the other thing that I didn't care for, her friend, was every anime trope of the screaming girl that I'm going to solve your problems and I'm going to help you with this because you're Belle and we've got a man. That I could have done without. The reveal of who the Beast was brilliant. And
very good.
So I'm saying 60-40, but what I really mean is more like 75-25. Like I said, I did enjoy the film. It's just not one that I would throw in to watch again and again and again. I mean, I've seen Akira dozens of times. I've seen Ghost in the Shell dozens of times. I've watched Your Name 2 more times since we actually did the review on it. I really enjoyed that film.
It's really solid.
But this is not one of those. Will I watch it again? Yeah, probably several years down the line to remind myself of it. But am I like, oh yeah, I got to run out and buy this one on Blu-ray right away? No, I'm not. But it's a quality film. I can't fault it. It's just, and I realize that a lot of this is just to my taste.
Sure.
So some people, your mileage is going to vary on this one. And if you are a bigger anime fan than I am, you may wholeheartedly love everything about this film. But for me, it's the anime that doesn't fall into the tropes that really stands out.
It's not one that I'm going to watch over again, but it is absolutely one that I'm going to recommend for sure. It's absolutely worth the watch. I agree with you. It's not quite as good as Your Name.
That's a tough act to follow.
It is. It really is a huge act to follow. But if you like Disney, old school Disney, you're really gonna like this. Even like the newer stuff. If you're a fan of the newer stuff, which I don't know why you would be, but hey, if you are, this is gonna be a huge step up and a huge improvement for me. Show it to your friends and family. I think everybody will enjoy it. And thank you, Kiki, for this recommendation.
Again, what he said, thank you for recommending this. Please recommend more. You recommend them, we'll watch them, and we'll tell you our...
Actually, we do know our next request. I think it's Robogeisha. Robogeisha.
Oh! See, now this sounds more like my jam, so I'm in. So
it's not an anime. I don't know what the hell it is. I'll throw the picture of the box up here, and we'll see you guys next time for that one. So.